Hey everyone, how's it going? Just want to do a quick video this evening about three quick tips to try and stay healthy with eating during this whole lockdown quarantine period. Um, so I know when everything happened a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people would have kind of panic bought all the staple foods like rices and pastas and bread and flour. There was weeks where there was no flour in the shops, but I think that was very much a nobody knew what the supply chains were going to be like, whether shops were going to have food kind of for long. And I think now that things have settled down and it's become quite clear that, shops are restocking, people can go grocery shopping, there's still plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables in shops. I think people are starting to kind of look to move back towards doing something a little bit healthier or trying to get routines back on track. And maybe over the last couple of weeks, people have kind of gotten a bit sidetracked and are looking for a way to kind of get things moving back in the right direction. So the three quick tips I have are, first and foremost, try and eat with structure. So a lot of people, when they're at home, they're getting up later in the mornings. Maybe if they're working from home, they're kind of waiting until 10 minutes before they have to log onto their PC to do anything. Or if you're not working from home, if you're temporarily out of work at the moment, you know days can lack structure. And I think one good way of kind of keeping some sense of normalcy is to still have your same meal structure as you had before everything went nuts. Like, have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, have a set time for it as well. So say if you used to eat breakfast at 7 a.m. when you were working or when you were able to leave the house, stick with doing that now. Still have that set time to sit down and have the regular meals. And especially if you're at home with other people, make the most of it. Make a meal out of it. Sit down, talk to your family, your friends, or your housemates, or whoever it is. Engage, be social. See how that goes. But the the important thing is to kind of put that structure around it, so then your body as well can continue to, or can adapt to when to expect food. It's not that kind of constant grazing sort of mentality as well, where your body is constantly trying to process food, or you're never really hungry because you're always picking at something. Whereas having the structured meal times can help you feel fuller for longer, helps your brain adjust to kind of not constantly looking for food, and it'll help your mentality as well. You know, having that bit of structure. The second tip then is setting yourself up for healthy eating. So again, back to what I was saying, where everybody kind of packed in the carbs and packed in the staples. You know, another thing that people did was pack in treats and chocolate and crisps, all that sort of stuff. So because they were in the house, they got eaten. That's just the way it works. If food is in the house, it will be eaten. So instead of stocking up on those sort of things, you could look at stocking up on healthier snacks or healthier foods. And a great way of doing that is to plan out your meals. So before you go to the supermarket, and you'll hear all of the supermarkets having announcements all the time saying, please be as quick as you can in the shop and come with a shopping list prepared. And that's a great opportunity to kind of sit down with whoever's in the house or yourself and say, right, on Monday this is what I'm going to have, on Tuesday this is what I'm going to have, Wednesday, and so on. And at least then when you go into the shop, you know exactly what you're looking for. When you get home, then it takes that little bit of decision making out of it as well, by saying, oh no, sure, I know exactly what I'm going to have this evening. And again, that feeds into the whole idea of structure, in that you're not kind of picking at bits during the day because right, I have X for dinner or Y for dinner or whatever it might be. Another big thing as well is, like, protein would be your friend, because a diet higher in protein generally will leave you feeling fuller for longer. So you'll end up eating less and you'll get that sense of fullness for longer. Then I I suppose on the fullness, that leads into the third point, and that's drinking plenty of water. So, especially when people are at home, you've access to a tap. There's no reason to not be drinking enough water. The average adult needs about 2.5 liters of water a day just for basic function. So any less than that leads to dehydration, and that causes irritability and headaches and lethargy. And if it's there, why not use it? Now, the other thing that sufficient water will do is it'll keep you feeling full as well. So it'll give your stomach something to fill out with. So if you do find yourself looking for a snack or thinking, oh, there's something there in the cupboard, I can try that. Try and have a glass of water. Have a nice cold glass of water, and give yourself 10 or 15 minutes. Now, if you're still hungry or peckish after that, maybe reassess. But give yourself that bit of a break to try it and see how that goes. Now, one way you could look at doing the water as well is maybe setting up a trigger. So if you are pottering around the house doing housework, every time you walk past, a picture in the hallway or something, and you see it, you go, right, I must go and get a glass of water, or leave a glass by the sink, or a coloured cup, or a note on the fridge, or something that you'll see, and it'll trigger something in your brain to go, yeah, I must go and have that water. And another thing people struggle with is the taste of water. Now, if it's a case that you just don't like drinking a glass of water, maybe try and add a bit of lemon to it, or some mint, or something along those lines, just to flavour it up a bit. But water will be your friend. Now, the one thing I think that it would tie all three of those points together is just, it's about movement. Now, I know the guidelines are you can leave the house within 2 kilometers to do exercise, and that's great. Absolutely get out there and take advantage of that, especially now that the weather is good. But if you're in the house, especially for those people who are working from home, they're sitting on a laptop all day, or sitting at their kitchen table or at their desk, and they don't get the opportunity to get up and go and do something for a while. One thing that I've been doing is I have a reminder set up, so at 10 to every hour that I get up and I do 2 small sets of exercises. So whether it's kind of around the push-ups or sit-ups or whatever it might be, it's just a good way to get moving regularly. It keeps you sharp a little bit, but it'll also help with thirst as well. So if you're popping a set of 20 squats, a couple of rounds of that, you're going to want to drink a glass of water. So I think that ties up the kind of 3 really simple key ways of staying that little bit healthier. So planning your meals, getting adequate water in, and trying to keep that schedule and setting yourself up with the healthy foods and the healthy snacks. So yeah, if you have any questions, just drop me a message, and yeah, have a good evening.